So this week, all new consoles are coming out, and a lot of people are asking which one should I buy for my kids. There's a lot of different options out there, but what we're going to talk about in this video is which one you should buy for your family. Hey everybody, I am David Renault. I'm a kids pastor in Florida, and more importantly, I am a gamer. I have been playing video games since I was 4 years old, going over to my friend's house, playing the Nintendo Entertainment System, playing some Super Mario Brothers, and I continue to play even to this day. And with the new console generation coming out, there's always this question of what should I buy for my kids? Is this safe for my kids? And there a lot of times when I work with kids, I ask them, "Hey kids, what are you playing? What do you like to play?" And it always scares me when I'm talking to a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old and they're playing Grand Theft Auto, or they're playing Call of Duty. Some of these games that are rated mature for good reason, and they're playing them. So what I want to do is create a place for you to talk about what are the best systems for you and what are the best systems for your family. Now, just a disclaimer, I do own a Nintendo Switch and I own an Xbox One. I love both of them, and my 5-year-old son does play both of them. However, with parental controls, which we'll talk about a little bit towards the end here, we make sure that it's safe for everybody. So if you've been looking to buy your family a new video game console, the choices can seem endless and confusing. And the web is full of unboxing videos and reviews and tech specs. But unless you're into computers and gaming, many of those stats are relevant at best or nonsensical at worst. I'm still not entirely certain what a teraflop is anyway. So the big question is I get from parents is what is best for my family, especially if I want to keep my kids safe from all the garbage online and the negative content that's in games. Well, the biggest change this time around is the end of the console wars. Now, Wired did an incredible article, not Wired, IGN did an incredible article about someone's opinion how the console, there was this fight that was going on between Nintendo and Sony with the PlayStation and Microsoft with the Xbox. And they've been going at it for several years, almost 20 years now. And even if you casually gamed as a kid, you know there was always a competition to who had the best system, be it Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, even Sega was in the running for a little while before it ultimately sold out and just started making games. So this battle has been going on for almost 25 years, and we're coming to the end. And it's the reason why I believe it's coming to the end is because the goals of the three main systems have changed. And I'll talk more about what those goals are along with the online options as I make my recommendations. So when buying any game, be sure to look for the rating, usually on the bottom left-hand side of the game or graphic. Any game rated E for everyone would most likely be safe for your kids. However, many of the games marketed to your kids are rated teen, for T for teen or M for mature for a reason, and should not be played by kids under age of 13 due to their language and their violence or more. You can read more about that rating on the game box or check the IMDb Parents Guide to find out why it's rated what it's rated. So before I really get into those things, make sure you click that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit like on this video and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of the updates that I do. And I post devotionals once a week. I post kids content, telling Bible stories, and periodically I may do some more video game recommendations as we go through. So here we go. Here are my recommendations. Now let's start off with the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch Lite. Now the Nintendo Switch, it comes at $299 and the Switch Lite comes at $199. This is an older system. This has been out for about 3 years now. But the Nintendo Switch Lite just came out last year, I believe. And it's basically just the Switch. It's just mobile. It's not made to be used with your television and with and handheld. It does have a Nintendo Switch Online, which is actually the best deal for if you want your kids to play online. Is the best deal out there at $19.99 for 1 year or $34.99 per year for a family. So if you're a dad and you're playing, you want your kid to play too, both of you can have a profile online, and that's only $35 a year, which is just, that's half of what Xbox or PlayStation would give you just for one profile. I definitely rate the Switch as 5 out of 5 kid friendly. And the recommended games I do for this is Mario Kart 8, Super Mario Maker 2, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Super Mario Maker 2 is played almost every week, if not every day in my house. They and my son absolutely loves it, as he does Mario Kart 8. I have not played Animal Crossing, but during this pandemic, it has been a savior for so many people. So if your kids are under 10, this is the best system for your family. It's fun, it's easy, it has safe games for your whole family. In fact, as of this writing on Amazon, there are 88 games for this system that are rated E for everyone. Compare that with Xbox at 59 and PlayStation 4 at 76, many of those games are sports games, and your kid may not be in playing like FIFA 20 or Madden 21. The Nintendo Switch is Nintendo's newest console, even though it's just 3 years now. There has been rumors that Nintendo may be coming out with a new console, but that's probably not going to happen this year, just because of how late we are in the year. Many of its exclusive games are the best out there, and they are always in high demand. The coolest feature of the Switch is its portability. The Switch is not tethered to your TV. It can be picked up and taken with you. It's the best of both worlds. So the Nintendo Switch Lite is identical to the Switch. However, it's mobile only. It does not connect to the TV, and those little Joy-Cons, the little controllers they have on the side, they are permanently attached to the system. So consider this device an upgrade. So when you're thinking about Nintendo Switch Lite, like what category does this fit in? This is more of like a mobile gaming device, like an old school Game Boy or the Nintendo DS family of systems. Nintendo's goal for this generation, like many before it has been for the casual gamer and the uninitiated gamer. If you were around in the early 2000s when the Wii was really huge, they had the two Japanese guys saying, "We would like to play." And that has been their whole thing of just trying to get the kids, mom, grandma, grandpa, everyone playing together. And they have stuck to that plan for a long time, and it's working super well for them. The games are fun and easily approachable. And like I said before, I bought one of these for my 5-year-old son last Christmas, and he absolutely loves it. After setting up his Nintendo account and adding him as a child, I can control what he plays and how long he plays with an app just from my phone. And that's super easy. A lot of the other systems don't allow you to do that. In fact, when I asked in my social media channels which one has the best parental controls, Nintendo won hands down. It wasn't even a competition. Parents beware with the Nintendo Switch though, because the Switch system has a problem called Joy-Con drift. And I'll link an article down in the description there, where after a little while, what happens is the Joy-Con will start moving by itself. You don't have your thumb on there, and their character starts moving without you doing anything there. And Nintendo has said that they will fix the problem. And I know people that have had the problem fixed, and they'll fix it for free. But you have to send in the Joy-Con, and you have to wait weeks for them to come back. Since Joy-Cons are $80 a pop, that's a tough sell to send it away. And if you have a Nintendo Switch Lite, you got to send the entire system, and they'll send it, and you have to wait a couple weeks for it to come back. And the other thing is that even though they fix the problem, it may come back. This is a horrible problem that's been going on with Nintendo for quite some time. And most people in the gaming community are super mad that Nintendo still hasn't fixed the problem. So you just need to understand that that's what it is. And you can always buy a new set of Joy-Cons for $80, and they come in a variety of different colors. That their color schemes for Nintendo is better than anyone else. But again, that goes along with their policy of young and uninitiated gamers. They're not going to want that sleek black or always want that sleek black or sleek white. Even though they have them, they're not always there. So that's the Nintendo Switch. That is my number one recommendation. So let's move on to the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. Don't get confused by those letters. I know it's a weird naming convention. People have been trying to help Microsoft for years on this, but it is what it is. So the Xbox Series X just came out, and it is the most powerful gaming console in the world, or at least that's what they claim. PlayStation begs to differ, but that is what it is. The Xbox Series X will set you back a cool $500 at $499, or if you wanted to go with the Series S, it's $299.99, or let's just call it $300, just to call it what it is. Now, here's something unique to Xbox that none of the other systems are doing, is that Xbox allows you to have a payment plan. So, and if you're not ready to shell out $500, you can shell out $35 a month for 2 years, like you would for your cell phone, and you get the Xbox Series X plus 2 years of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which we'll talk about what that is in just a moment. You can also do that with the Series S, which is the cheaper option at $24.99 per month. Xbox does have an online option. It's one of the best in the business, and it is $60 annually for Xbox Live Gold. And what that allows you, what the Xbox Live Gold does, is it allows you to play online multiplayer. It allows you to access the store. It has a lot of other things that Xbox Live Gold comes with it. In addition, it comes with 4 games every month, which is a pretty sweet deal. Do not confuse Xbox Live Gold with Xbox Game Pass, which is $14.99 a month, and that comes, actually it's cheaper than that. It's $9.99 a month, and that just comes, that allows you to basically rent games or stream games into your system. For $14.99, you can get Gold and Game Pass per month. Is the Xbox kid friendly? I give it a 3 out of 5. My son does play it sometimes. We play like an old Xbox 360 games every now and then on there, like Super Lucky Tales or Sonic Racing. But if we're going to talk about games that are specifically available for the Xbox One and the newest Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, where I'm going to talk about Minecraft, Plants vs. Zombies, Battle for Neighborville, and even Kingdom Hearts 3. These are all excellent games and fun to play at there. So the X and S are some of the most popular consoles out there for gamers. Even though you have to pay $60 for Xbox Live Annual Gold membership to gain full access to the web, I believe that it is well worth it. With Xbox Live Gold, you get access to the entire suite of apps, and your kids can play online with their friends. In addition, with their Games with Gold program, like I said before, you can get 4 free games a month. They give 2 Xbox One games away, and they also give away a 360 and or just an original Xbox game. This system is made for gamers, and it markets specifically to older players, with its biggest titles being Gears of War 5, which is rated M for mature for obvious reasons, and Halo Infinite, which will come out sometime in the spring of next year. This Series X is the Cadillac of systems. One notable difference is that only the Series X comes with a disk drive. This is super important. So if you want to buy physical copies of games, this is the only option for you. If you want to buy used games from GameStop, or if you want to go hit up the bargain bin at Target or Walmart, the Series X is your only option for you to do that. If you buy the Series S, which is Series X's little brother, it's smaller physically. It has a smaller hard drive, and it only will present up to 1440p resolution. Now, me personally, I can't really tell the difference, but some people can, and it makes a difference for them. The Series S also does not have the disk drive, which means the only games you can play on it have to be purchased from the Microsoft Store and digitally downloaded onto your device. Now, the Microsoft Store, they are great about running sales, but and like I said, you still get those 4 free games if you have Xbox Live Gold, but you're not going to be able to get those super cheap games that they sell at GameStop or other retailers like that. The other great thing about a disc drive is that you now have a Blu-ray player. So if you got those old DVDs and those Blu-rays that are just collecting dust in your corner, you can pull those out. You can pop that into Xbox Series X and watch that. In the Series S, you can't at all. So Microsoft's goal with their systems is not about selling the next console, but about getting their player base to sign up for Xbox Game Pass. Now, Game Pass is like Netflix for games. They have a regular rotating set of over 100 games that you can download and play for just $9.99 a month. And in addition to all the first-party games, meaning they're made by Microsoft or one of their developers, they're added to Game Pass on day one and are playable without actually buying the game. So games like Halo Infinite, like we talked about before, or Assassin's Creed Valhalla, instead of having to go out and shell out $60 to play that, if you have Game Pass, you were able to play that on day one without, all you had to do was just go to the store and download it. For free is a relative term, but you get what I'm saying. So The best deal, in my opinion, though, is the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, because that gives you Xbox Gold, Xbox Game Pass, not only on your Xbox, but also on your PC. And this is cool. This is brand new on Android mobile devices. You could play regular Xbox games, like full on console games, on your phone, which is crazy. We want iPhone to get on that, but they haven't yet because of Apple's terms of service, which it's a whole thing. You can go on a deep dive on that one. But to further support their goal of signing up for Game Pass, almost every Xbox game, all the way back to the original Xbox, is compatible with any other Xbox you may buy. So those games, right now, I'm playing an Xbox 360 game, and if I ever upgrade to the Series X, I'm going to be able to still play that 360 game. Long gone are those days where you bought these games for this system and then it was only for that system. And if you wanted to play those, you had to bring that system back out, which most of the time they're just, let's be honest, they're collecting dust in a corner. But with the Xbox, you can go all the way back. They even have original Xbox games. Almost their entire library has been transferred, which is amazing. In addition, if you have the Xbox One controller laying around, you can play it on the Xbox Series S or S. So I have my Xbox One controller. I actually have two of them. I have two of them. One of them broke. So with controllers, those controllers, they could set you back between $60 and $150 if you're going with the elite version or you're custom making it. $60 is just straight out of the box. That's a good deal because I could play that on my XS and I don't have to go buy all new controllers if other people want to play with me on my same system. I have an Xbox One in my home. It's 2 generations back, and I also have Game Pass Ultimate. It's not very kid friendly, but it's a great addition to your home entertainment system because of that built-in Blu-ray player and that massive list of streaming apps for TV, movie, music, anything that like a Roku or a Chrome Stick or a Fire Stick will have. Xbox has that built in as well. There are parental controls with timers and limits on content, but since my son doesn't play this system regularly, and when he does play, it's usually with me and under my direct supervision, I haven't set these up. However, I know that he gets older, I will need to do so. So that's it for the PlayStation. Now let's talk about the PlayStation 5 and the PS5 Digital Edition. This thing, I'm going to be honest, as much of an Xbox fanboy as I am, this thing is beautiful. Okay. The PS5 is competitive with the Series X in that it's $499 and the PS5 Digital Edition is $399. Now, just to help you understand the difference between these two, think of the PS5 just like the Series X and Xbox, and the PS5 Digital is just like the Series S. It's almost their specs are different, but their capabilities of what they're able to do and their limitations are almost the same. PlayStation does have a paid web option. It was free back in the day, but they started charging because they couldn't provide the support that Xbox does. And that is $60 a year, or you could play it monthly at $9.99 a month. I would, again, rate PlayStation as kid-friendly. Personally, I rate it as a 3 out of 5. And even though PlayStation has more rated E for everyone games on Amazon, when I look at the game offerings that are on PlayStation, I just see a whole bunch of dark, violent, literally demon. I think they have a game named Demon Slayer. I mean, it's just dark games. And so I just don't look as like, this is not a very kid-friendly system. The recommended games for PlayStation, if you are a hardcore PlayStation fan and you just don't want to get into the Microsoft ecosystem or you want to stay away from Nintendo, that's totally cool for you, are the Lego Movie 2 video game. Minecraft, I've almost recommended that in everyone because it's a great game for kids. And then Crash Bandicoot Insane Collection, which is actually a compilation of all the Crash Bandicoot games that came out for the PS1 and the PS2 back in the day. The Sony PlayStation 5, and by extension, the digital edition, is the other big man on campus. And I put this one last simply because I've never actually owned a PlayStation. My brother owned a PS2, and I played that for Guitar Hero to show that I could shred. And I played 1, 2, and 3. And I think I even played Kingdom Hearts 1 on it. But that's about it for my PlayStation experience. And growing up as a Nintendo guy, I'm rocking my classically trained shirt today. PlayStation was the enemy. And so I just never got into it. But I know it's a great system. And a lot of my gamer friends love their PlayStation. PlayStation is following more of the classic model of video games in the new generation script. They want everyone to buy their new system. That's why you see those Taco Bell $5 deals like, oh, brand new system is a PS5. That's what it's not Taco Bell. It's Burger King with the 5 for 5 deal. Forgive me. So unfortunately, PlayStation 4 games are the only current games that are backwards compatible, and you'll have to buy all new controllers and accessories to play on the PlayStation 5. So when you get the 5, you're going to have to get some games for PlayStation 5, or you're going to have to play your old PS4 games. Unlike the Xbox, you're not going to be able to go back and play those PS1 and PS2 games, or even PS3 games. They're not compatible. You can't pop them in. Even though it's still on a CD, you can't put it in there. It's not going to work. Also, the controllers don't come over, although I have read a review about the PlayStation 5 controller, and it is phenomenal as far as haptic feedback and vibrations. But if you're not into that, you're just buying this for the kid, it really doesn't matter. So Sony's competitive advantage is their exclusives. They are a master at getting games that are only for them, and then they advertise the heck out of them. I'm looking at you, Spider-Man. I'm not bitter about this at all. It's awesome. Look at that web slinging. I wish I could do that. Anyway, so even titles that can be purchased on multiple systems, they frequently have features that you can only get on PlayStation. As a Xbox user for the last 20 years, I can tell you this is so true, and it's super frustrating. But that's PlayStation's game, and that's what they do. So also like Xbox, PlayStation has a paid web service called PlayStation Plus, and to play multiplayer and interact online, and that's $60 a year. And if you want to try it out, it's only $9.99 a month. This service is most similar to Xbox Live Gold, not Xbox Live Game Pass. It's more like Gold, and they will give you 4 free games a month along with other perks. I will also say from following that, the games that they give are far more recognized and appreciated by gamers than they are from Xbox. However, I will still say that most of the games they get were not kid friendly. They are rated teen and rated mature, so beware when you get those. Sony is light on their kid games offering, and they market more for the T for teen and the M for mature markets. So if your kids are older and you think they're ready for that kind of content, the PS5 may be the direction for you. So like if your kid's like 10, 11, 12, go ahead and splurge on the PlayStation, because they're going to start thinking the Nintendo's a little juvenile, just because of it markets to younger kids. But also be aware, look at those parents' guides, look at that rating, and make sure you understand what your kid is watching. And here's the great thing. About it is that if you want to know what a game actually looks like to be played, there's this thing called twitch.com where you can watch other people play the game, or you can just do a YouTube search for the game and watch what the gameplay looks like so you can know what your kid is getting into as far as language, violence, gaming structure, all those other things. So with so many different systems out right now, and many of them becoming complex, all-in-one entertainment systems, I know it's hard to decide. So keep in mind that even though the technology market is constantly changing, and video game consoles, they stay current for a long time. Technically, we've been in this console generation for 7 years, and the one before that was almost 10. So with Xbox and PlayStation's new upgrade policy that allows backwards and forward compatibility, you can be happy with that system for years. When buying your system, think about buying multiple controllers. Each system can support up to 4 players at a time. And with many of the games I've listed, they support local multiplayer, which means everybody can sit on the couch and watch. You don't have to be connected online. This way, your kids, siblings, and friends, and even you can enjoy playing games with your kids. Whichever system you choose, your kids will most likely be ecstatic. Just take the time to be informed about the latest games. There are many games like IGN.com and GameSpot.com that provide reviews and content advisories for each game. You control what games are played at your house, so take the time to set up parental controls and be interested in what your kids are playing. You may be amazed at what you discover. So that's it for our console guide. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single thing. Happy gaming and Merry Christmas.